We spoke our first words. Mine was Baba. His was Amir, my name.
Reading these lines, I knew that this story is going to stay with me for long. Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another captivating episode of Books.com Lit Gyan with me Subhashini. The Kite Runner needs no introduction. It's a moving portrait of modern Afghanistan from its pre-Russian invasion glory days to the terrible reign of the Taliban. This book by Khaled Hosseini is famous for other reasons too. Published in 2003, it has also been on the American Library Association Top 10 list of frequently challenged books in 2008, 2012 and 2014 for offensive language, religious viewpoints, violence and sexually explicit content. 2 years back, I didn't know much about Afghani culture. Kudos to Hosseini to bring an Afghan perspective to the mainstream, a less known milieu. Reading his books, I could connect myself with the struggles of a much misunderstood country and the sufferings of Afghanis. With Amir, I went through the places where the sultans of Kabul used to play and read Shahnameh. I cherished the beautiful moments and tasted scrumptious kebab. I travelled through the streets where that horrific incident happened. Before we get into the story, there are two different ethnic groups in Afghanistan that you should know: the Pashtuns and Hazaras. They differ in their religious beliefs, cultural practices, social status, and even in their physical appearance. Pashtuns are the largest group of Sunni Muslims. On the other hand, Hazaras are the minority of Shia Muslims. The protagonist, Amir, as the name suggests, is the son of a rich Pashtun known as Baba. Ali, the Hazara who serves Baba, lives in their compound along with his son, Hassan. This China doll-faced, green-eyed and hair-lipped Hassan is the only playmate and best friend of Amir. The characters of Amir and Hassan are larger than life that I couldn't stop myself hating one and loving the other. The picturesque description of pre- and post-war Afghanistan in Amir's life, spanning from his childhood to teenage, is a roller coaster of emotions. For these kids, flying kites was the only escape and Hassan was a successful kite runner. Hope you know the kite runner is an assistant of the kite fighter who goes after the kite that was cut down and picks it up after it is fallen. Amir was considered weak and often criticized by his Baba for lacking courage. He finds solace in the words of a fatherly figure, Rahim Khan, who is Baba's closest friend. I would like to quote Rahim Khan's beautiful words.
Children aren't coloring books. You don't get to fill them with your favorite colors.
But Baba treats Hassan with an affection that Amir craves, going as far as gifting Hassan with cleft lip surgery for his birthday. When Afghanistan's king is overthrown, things begin to change. One day, Amir and Hassan are playing when they run into three boys, Asif, Wali and Kamal. Asif threatens to beat up Amir for hanging around with the Hazara, but Hassan uses his slingshot to stop Asif. During a winter, the kite fighting tournament occurs. Amir wins the tournament and Hassan sets off to run the losing kite. On victory of the kite fighting tournament, I felt the contentment of loyalty and friendship in Hassan's words.
For you, 1,000 times over.
When Hassan doesn't return, Amir looks for him and finds him trapped at the end of an alley surrounded by Wali, Kamal and Asif. Amir runs away without rescuing Hassan. Amir's lack of courage and attempt to appease his father goes wrong, shattering the peace of the family. Soon, Amir and Hassan drift apart. Hassan defends Amir, though he never receives the same treatment from him. Amir stuffs money and a watch under Hassan's pillow and tells Baba that Hassan stole it. I first felt the guilt, then agony of betrayal, cowardice, jealousy and so-called pride and honor. In a country that is under deconstruction, there is also emotional richness which is depicted in the bravery of Hassan and Baba. Whenever they tried to be righteous and good, my heart sang. In a world that has gone to hell, they still try to be decent. They still try to stand up for their people. They still had values and also acted according to them. Though Amir successfully gets rid of Ali and Hassan from his house, I couldn't. We don't get to know what happened to Hassan and Ali until the second half of the book. But I loved Hassan with all my heart for being an innocent soul. His only flaw was he was too good to live in a sick and violent world. The story jumps to March 1981. After the invasion of the Russians, the family escapes to Pakistan and then 2 years later to California. Amir is now married to General Tahiri's daughter Soraya. He embarks on a successful career as a novelist where he receives a call from Rahim Khan reminding him
There is a way to be good again.
Amir realizes it's not his mentor calling but his untold sins that were calling him. If you had read The Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, you would find comparable themes. Despite the novels being penned in different milieus and eras, both the protagonists disown their friends. How lack of an identity brings chaos to one's life and how maturation of perspective is necessary for one's identity are common themes in these novels. Hosseini's writing style too is similar to Dickens in some pages. While it's quite common to take a liking for the protagonist of the novel, I hated Amir for his cowardice, ungratefulness and his futile efforts of redemption. But everyone has their own share of vice and virtue that shapes them into who they are. Even the much respected Baba has. Amir revisits Kabul to atone his sins, to rescue Saurabh, Hassan's son. With the elements of distress, sadness and emotional traumas, I found it difficult to motivate myself to read further. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Still, I wanted to know what would happen to Amir and Saurabh, and finally, I felt redeemed. The Kite Runner reiterates never to judge a person by his looks. Similarly, don't judge what is inside this book by its cover. Two Little Friends, an unspeakable secret and a quest for redemption is both realistic and poetic. From a literary aspect, coincidences along with symbolisms and foreshadows are abundant in this book. The split in Hassan's lip signifies his poverty which separates him from Amir. Later, when Asif splits Amir's lip, Amir's identity gets merged with Hassan's. The kite serves as a symbol of Amir's happiness as well as guilt. I cannot praise this book enough except the gory and violence in the third half of the novel. Hosseini is an exceptional storyteller. What began as father-son relationship story ended revealing a family secret, long-forgotten betrayals, wars and ethnic differences that led two little inseparable boys into very different life paths and also reminds us the power of hope like the kites. The best message this book delivers is when people value their loved ones for their personal worth and not for their class or position in the society, they create meaningful and fulfilling relationships and gain greater peace of mind for the rest of their life. Debutant writer Khaled Hosseini's this tale vividly covers universal themes of friendship, courage, guilt, betrayal and atonement, making it unlike a maiden work. As for me, I will definitely not reread this book. I'm kind of proud that I accomplished to read it once. If you can deal with pain, this book is highly recommended. But if you're one of the faint-hearted, better give it a wide berth. Well, we come to the end of this review and you know where to find me on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube to share your comments. You can send me the list of books you want me to review at BooksDotCom by Subhashini@gmail.com. Thank you for staying tuned till the end. See you in the next episode of Books.com. Till then, sayonara.